Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Tashina. No?
Yeah, you are.
I'm Tashina. This is Justin, who is apparently not going to announce himself today. And this is Coffee and Tea with Justin and Tashina.
Yeah. Coffee and Tea starring Tashina Combs featuring Justin Mendez.
No, we're equals.
It's a reference to In Bed with Nick and Megan.
Oh, okay, I get it. Bagheera makes a little cameo today. Applesauce ever present. I don't know if she's in the shot right now. I think her ears are at least. So today's episode kind of meandered through. We're both feeling very tired today. I'm feeling better now. Are you?
No, I'm feeling worse.
Oh, okay. All right.
You asked. I
did ask. So what did we cover?
Well, you talked a lot about COVID-19.
Sorry. I know.
We both kind of did. It wasn't just you.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, we really wanted to make a point to not talk about it, but I feel like it's on my mind so much right now.
The first 3 quarters are free from that for the most part. So if you're, obviously, like we've mentioned and tried to sustain, the whole point of this is to be a positive distraction and not inundate you with all that stuff. So
sorry.
What? No, it wasn't just you. I was definitely party to it as well. But the first, I'd say 3 quarters are like that. So when we get to that part, you can just turn it off, unless you want to hear our thoughts, because I don't know. Anyway. But we talked about like arts and crafts that we did as kids.
Yeah.
We talked about things that we're excited about to do while we're isolating.
Yeah, we talked about like recipes we're excited about. I tried a new one yesterday. You hear our thoughts on that one. Mm-hmm. And just like what our plans are now that we're home a lot more, like so many of you. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep. It's true. So what are you grateful for?
I am grateful that we're able to be here and do this. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that we got up and pushed ourselves through not wanting to get up. I'm grateful that you pushed me through that.
I literally pushed Tashina out of bed.
Onto the floor. I'm kidding. Not really. You handed me clothes and you're like, just get dressed.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that just to be here with you and to be doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I am grateful for all the support that we have from people watching this channel.
Yeah.
We posted about it yesterday on the Logical Harmony channel, and we gained over 100 new people on this channel, which blows my mind.
Yeah, me too.
Which is exciting. And I also, so I want to acknowledge, thank you if you're new here, and also thank you if you're old here, because, well, we have a lot of subscribers on Logical Harmony who have been following Logical Harmony for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And many of you have come over to this channel as well. And we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being around. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah.
It's really rad.
It is. And thanks to everyone who's expressed gratitude for us doing this.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We've got a few comments here, and we've got a few, or I personally have received a handful of DMs on Instagram of people being like, hey, I just wanted to reach out and say thanks for doing what you're both doing on Coffee and Tea. So that's been really cool. I'm really grateful. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful and excited. I'm grateful for that Best Buy gift card that I found.
Oh, yeah.
Because the live streaming device should be here soon. Mm-hmm. And then the surprise for you doesn't look like it's going to be here till like Thursday.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can wait.
The live streaming device is supposed to be here today.
Crazy.
But I think that was a mistake in the tracking. I think what they meant was UPS is delivering it to USPS today. And then USPS is going to deliver it whenever they feel like it. So we'll see.
Probably Thursday.
But I am excited and grateful that we're going to be able to do that and try something new and create some content for the patrons.
Yeah.
For Logical Harmony.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm super tired, but I feel stoked. I'm grateful that we pushed through, like you said, and actually got ourselves out of bed this morning. So
yeah,
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to express gratitude for before we jump into the show?
I think you covered the other things I was going to cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, enjoy the show. Trying something a little bit new this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I took the little windscreens off the mics.
Oh, yeah, I just realized.
Yeah, because I'm not really sure that they're, bless you, that they're really doing anything in this context.
Yeah.
So I did a quick little test last night, and I couldn't really hear a difference. So, bless you. So I thought today we would try doing it like this. And then, as you know, 5 seconds ago, before we started recording, I knocked this mic over, and this metal casing slammed onto the table and chipped our marble table. So that's fun.
Fun way to start the day.
I've been having a reoccurring nightmare that I tell you about. I've been having it since we watched that movie McMillions. And
that's a random movie to have a nightmare after.
Yeah, well, the nightmare is that the FBI is after me.
Huh.
Yeah. You were in this one.
Okay.
And basically the FBI was after both of us. I'm not really sure what I did. But you, what?
I'm not really sure what I did.
Well, like in my dream, it was never really discussed, but what they were after you for was.
Oh, what were they after me for?
So you're like this rich, like heiress. Yeah.
So accurate.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
And the way that your family made their money is like toys and toy stores, which I think is kind of like from what we talked about in yesterday's podcast.
Yeah. I'm the Toys R Us heiress.
No, we talked about like toy stores.
I know. I was making a joke.
Yeah. And then so the FBI is like, basically you're involved in some unsavory stuff, which I think maybe is also because of all the news with like insider trading and all these horrible politicians being just like the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the reoccurring part is the FBI is after me, but the Tashina's involvement is pretty new. It's a new development in my nightmares.
Interesting. It's very interesting.
You're very interesting.
So they're like showing up and you're running from them, or like what?
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, I think this is the first time that the FBI was actually in the dream, and I think that most of the time it's just the nightmare consists of the feeling that the FBI is after me.
Okay, like it's coming and you're just...
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like they're on to me, like I know it, I can feel it. They just haven't caught me yet. Which even just saying those words is like so terrifying.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think the reason it's messed up to me is because like in other nightmares, you're like, oh, I could do something about this.
Yeah.
But like if the FBI is after you,
yeah.
I think the thing that scares me is even if you're innocent, like, okay, I think this is probably another part of this stream is that I saw this Facebook video, and I won't get into it too much because, we did agree that the show wasn't going to be a bunch of like heavy stuff, but basically it was a video about these NYPD officers who have been caught on their body cams planting weed in people's cars multiple times for the last 2 years and still have jobs, and like people that they've arrested have been in jail for like 2 years for doing absolutely nothing.
That's crazy. Hold on, I need 1 second.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a late start this morning.
Yeah,
what time is it right now? We're just getting started, and it is 6:24.
Oh, yeah, usually we're filming by 6.
Yeah.
So we're definitely late.
Yeah, usually we're up by 5:30, out of bed, getting everything set up. Applesauce, for reals. We both woke up and we're just like,
I was so
dead.
tired.
Yeah.
So tired.
And you had a theory about why we feel so terrible.
Yeah. So we haven't been drinking much at all for a while. And yesterday we each had, like, over the course of several hours, we each had a couple beers. And I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because since we haven't drank, I think in the past like month and a half, there have been like 3 days that I've had alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And each time that I've had it, even if it's like a single beer,
Yeah.
the next day I feel so tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like mentally slower.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brain is just like not wanting things to click. Like mental health wise don't feel as good. Applesauce apparently thinks I need some cheering up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so this morning I was like, we were sitting there and we're like, why are we both so tired today? And I was like, I think it's because we drank yesterday, even though it wasn't much. So to me,
it was beers.
It wasn't
even like multiple cocktails.
No.
Or glasses of wine.
No, but yeah, I think to me it just drives home how much like how much alcohol impacts my body.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
I'm really worried her tail's going to get in my coffee.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a new thing, would it?
No, it's happened before, and then she gets really upset because she doesn't recognize her tail when it's wet. And she thinks it's this thing chasing her. Anyway.
Is that what's going on?
It's happened before when her tail's gotten wet, when she's gotten it in a glass of water
Like
of mine
those,
or in the bathtub.
Like those prank videos where somebody clips a snake onto somebody and then they tap them on the shoulder? Is
No,
that what you're
that's
saying?
exactly how she reacts. And she runs and constantly turning around looking at her wet tail like she doesn't know what it is. And she gets really upset.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah.
Tough life.
So yeah, I think it's a good reminder of how alcohol impacts our bodies.
Totally.
And how right now, I mean, I think that we need to be doing like everything that we can to keep ourselves healthy.
Yeah. So we also talked this morning about not deciding not to film in the moment we were feeling tired. Meaning,
Yeah.
we forced ourselves to still get up. Obviously, we took a little bit longer, but we forced ourselves to still get up and start filming. And the reasoning was that way we're not like we decided last night we were going to get up and do this.
Yeah.
And in the moment of discomfort, I think to make that decision not to do it is a pretty bad precedent to set for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if you make a decision to do something and then you're not feeling comfortable and don't feel like doing it, and then you don't, then it's a problem.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to keep doing it with different things.
Right. And I think that's such a big deal to me because that's such a thing that I struggle with in general, which is like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to do some sort of exercise tomorrow, or I'm totally going to work on this thing tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do this. And then I don't do it. And like we talked about last night before we went to bed, getting up and doing this has been such a good like way for us to get back into a routine.
Yeah.
Because I think we've been working from home for so long that we've let ourselves really slide out of like any set schedule, any routine. Yeah. Like our lives are pretty much just like, I would say, very floaty.
And I'm someone who works best with a routine. And when I don't have one, it's really challenging for me.
Yeah.
So it is really helpful. I feel like I'm way more productive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to stick to it.
Yeah, totally.
Even when you're really tired.
Yeah, really tired. Did you ever do tie-dye in school when you were a kid?
I didn't do tie-dye at school. I know I did it at home. And then I did batik in high school.
Oh, in high school.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I took a class that was fiber arts.
Fiber arts?
Yeah, I took...
Tell me more about fiber arts.
I'm trying to remember what else we did. It was all taught by the same teacher. She did calligraphy, painting and drawing, and fiber arts. And they were all at the same time. And you could take them up to 3 times each. And so you were in there, and it was kind of this mix mash. I think fiber arts was just batik. I don't remember ever doing like knitting or sewing or anything else. But I also think that because the teacher was one teacher trying to balance so many things, she was probably basically like, whatever's easiest is what you're going to do.
So what kind of fibered arts did you create? Like, what are some of your masterpieces? Did your mom save any of them?
I don't think so. A lot of them. So when the teacher taught us batik, she had us learn using paper first, not fabric. So a lot of those basically just looked like tie-dye paper.
Do I not understand what batik is?
So batik is where you would take like a piece of fabric and then you use wax to block off certain areas and then you dye it. And then you can like keep layering the dye and things like that.
Yeah, and you break off the wax. And okay.
And then you iron off the rest.
Okay, yeah. So I do know. Okay.
We started with just sheets of paper, like 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. And so most of those was because we used a brush for all of it. We didn't have vats to actually dip into.
Yeah.
So that was mostly what it was just brushing like you were painting and using the wax and anyway, making different things. And I know I made some stuff, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay. I did batiking once.
Yeah?
It was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, though.
It smells like a burner still on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Will you check?
Well, this is the episode with many interruptions.
Sorry. Thank you for checking on that.
Yes.
I left a burner on.
She sure did.
With a pan.
With nothing in it.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that you checked. Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
I was like sitting here and I was like...
Yeah, we could both smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not good.
No. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Anyway, so batik. You did batik once.
Yeah, it was like 2nd or 3rd grade. I just the only part of it I remember is that when it came time to like get the wax off, that it was really difficult. And you said wax, but I don't think we used wax. I think we used something that was more of like almost like a plaster.
Oh, weird.
Or like a clay, like something of that sort of, like when we were breaking it off, it definitely wasn't like flexible. It was like a hard, crusty thing.
That makes sense for the age because we used like hot wax.
Yeah.
And if you're in 2nd or 3rd grade, that would not be it's a risky move.
Yeah. I don't remember at all what the finished products look like. Although that school, every single grade, we would create a class quilt. So, you'd get a square fabric and there would always be a theme. So like in kindergarten, everybody did a self-portrait and then wrote their
I've
name.
Seen that one.
Right. So at the end of the year, they would do like an auction, or no, not an auction, a raffle. And my parents won the kindergarten quilt.
Cute.
It is cute. It's adorable. It's fun to look back on. And my mom told me even back then, like every parent was like, oh man, like you got it. You got the one. Because it had every student's, kindergarten self-portrait on it. It's a pretty rad quilt. Actually, if I do say so myself.
It's a cute idea.
It's a cute idea. It's fun because I'm still friends with at least one of the, I think 1 or 2 of the people on that quilt. So it's kind of fun to be able to look back on. But yeah, so every year in every grade, you would make a quilt and there would be a different theme. And I sort of think that the reason I don't remember what my batiking thing looked like is because that was the quilt squares.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So there you go.
Interesting.
And I did do tie-dye later, I think in like 4th or 5th grade. And I kind of remember that, but not really, because I think because it's all chemicals, right? Like chemicals and dyes and like stuff to dye it, yeah?
It's dyes, but you can do varying amounts of, like, there are really chemically dyes. There are also really natural ones.
So I think the way that we did it was we all rubber banded our own shirts.
Yeah.
Like, they explained to us how that works and if you put rubber bands in different spots. So we all rubber banded our own shirts so that they'd all be unique. And then there were like the buckets of dye. And I think there was like a parent, because this was another thing. So the school that I went to had 2 programs. There was the regular program, which is like typical normal school.
Okay.
And then there was the alternative program, which is where every single day there's 1 or 2 parents in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of either like your parents had money because one of them wasn't working. Your parents didn't have money and one of them wasn't working. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or like one of your grandparents or like somebody from the family would come in and be there every single day of the year.
Yeah.
And so one of the parents, if I remember correctly, Bagheera loves getting over here. So like this and these mics, the light in these mics run down into our recorder, and then the recorder runs into the wall. And there's quite a few wires because our headphones go down there too. And Bagheera has been loving just going and nuzzling his little body against these things.
I wonder if they're warm.
I don't know. Oh, you can hear his purrs so well.
Put it up by his mouth.
What a little
He's like,
cutie.
get that thing out of my face.
What a little cutie.
I didn't sign up for this.
You must speak to my agent. So, yeah, I'm sure that one of the parents was doing the actual dipping and we were just selecting the color.
Yeah.
But I remember being pretty excited about it and pretty happy with the results.
Nice.
And then we all had tie-dye shirts to wear.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing them with my mom. And then I know, too, you can do them with, like, more natural dyes. Like, you could totally do, like, beets and onion skin-based dyes and things like that. And
Makes
I know,
sense.
yeah, I know my mom has a lot of, maybe I shouldn't say a lot. I know my mom has experience with stuff like that because she's always been really into, like, fiber arts, if you will. I remember as a kid, she took, like, basket weaving classes and, like, I remember our third bathroom in the house at the time, the bathtub was always filled. I shouldn't say always, but I remember going in there and it would be filled with like the sticks or whatever for her baskets that were soaking to like loosen them up. And she had a loom and would make yarn and like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think our moms were both kind of crafty.
Yeah.
My mom did like stained glass. I don't
Crazy.
remember what else, but my mom's like a pretty decent, like she definitely just has an artistic thing about her. Mm-hmm. And so some days she would like take a banana and just like take a Sharpie and draw just like this crazy cool thing like all over the banana peel.
Yeah.
Or like do that on our lunch bags or something.
That's fun. And I know I've seen like cakes she's decorated and they look really nice.
Yeah.
Like she'll do like, I mean, I've seen the ones she's done for like your little nieces. So they'll be like Disney themed, but they turn out like really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom's good at stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom too. I feel like your mom's art and her interests are also slightly more practical. Like the stuff that my mom does, I think is very much on the spectrum of like, this is art and can be appreciated as art. Oh, similar to like this, right? Like this is not really serving any purpose other than like being nice to look at.
Okay.
And that's, you know, obviously when my mom would draw on a banana, it served a purpose of like...
You ate the banana.
Well, no, I mean, we would feel loved and like, you know, there's that messaging. So I don't mean to imply that it somehow has less worth. That's not what I mean. And I actually think that's like something that's sad about art is that it is treated that it's somehow like not... It doesn't have the same value as everything else, which I think is nonsense. But your mom is also into like canning and like making jams, and she knows all these like very practical things that you would expect someone who sort of maybe lives a more secluded from society life or like lives out in the country, you know?
Yeah, which she does live out in the country.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. A lot of more practical things.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been texting me a lot that expanding their garden rapidly right now and getting ready for stuff that can be canned and dried and stored and things like that.
Which is funny because my dad is into that stuff. But like, I don't think my mom's really into gardening. Like,
no, I don't think she is.
I think she'd rather not.
Yeah.
But like, if you can come up with an art project for like my nieces to do with my mom, she'll like figure out every aspect and like have a super fun time and make some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Like dyeing sand and things like that and making it into stuff.
Yeah. I
She's
don't know.
done that.
Oh, she has?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Like the Bagheera is now laying right in front of the tripod.
He's not even quite laid down yet. He's doing that thing cats do where they like...
Slowly.
Oh, he's getting there.
Slowly.
He's getting there.
He made it.
He made it, yeah. I like that you put this chair here for applesauce. I think it was a smart move. It's definitely made her less fussy.
Yeah. Because normally when she's off camera, maybe she is slightly on camera the whole time, but she's very fussy because she wants to be close to us.
She wants to be close to you.
Yeah.
If you were in the other room, she wouldn't be here. It's not an us thing.
Yeah. Do you have your own chair? She's like, I have no clue what you're saying to me, but I'll stare at you.
We were debating whether or not to even do this episode because we're both so tired. We're like, well, is it just going to be super boring? Are we going to have nothing to talk about? And the good news is the whole premise of the show is to talk about whatever we want. So, of course, it's going to be boring.
I think especially, too, right now, because since we're doing the, like, shelter in place, or as LA is calling it, safer in place, you know, we're not... and we're using it as a time to work a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like we just don't have as much stuff going on.
True. I cut my finger open yesterday, though.
Yeah, you did cut your finger.
Yeah.
Hopping a fence.
Yeah, so I was working on, you know, that, like, the documentary thing, just trying to organize my footage before I sent them the hard drive. And I knew that, you know, it being Saturday, that the UPS store closed at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And so there's a UPS store near us, but because of how our complex is set up, you have, like, as the crow flies, the UPS store is maybe like 100 yards away.
Yeah.
But because of, I love that expression.
As the crow flies.
Yeah. I don't know why, I just do. It's so funny. So anyway.
It feels very practical.
Yeah. And it yes, exactly. Yeah. So
careful.
As the crow flies, maybe 100 yards. But because of how our complex is set up, you have to, like, go out and around. And, like, I would say it probably adds about 100 yards to that distance. Yeah. And so anyway, I was in a hurry. So I was like, I'm not going to walk around. I'm going to hop this fence. So I, like, run out the apartment door, forget a box to ship this thing in, run back in. Tashina grabs me a box. What?
Yeah. I'm just laughing thinking about how my mom and Tad, her boyfriend, are going to watch this and they'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So get the box, run back out of the apartment, hop this fence, which I'm pretty sure is when I ripped my finger open, run through the back of this, like, a hospital, I don't even know what it is, office, parking lot, just, like, book it across a 4-lane Utah street. And as I'm, like, running across the street, I see the guy locking the door to the UPS store. I'm not sure if he was locking it, so I still run over and try to open the door, and it's locked. And then he must have heard me from inside, because as I walk away, he came back outside. And I'm, like, out of breath, and I'm like, can I? And he was like, yeah, but it's not going out until Monday. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, dude, UPS isn't, it's 5 o'clock on a Saturday. Like, UPS isn't coming here to pick up your package. They'll be here on, like, Monday evening. And I was like, Okay. Forget it. Thanks.
Yeah. That was funny.
And then I had to hop back over I guess I didn't have to hop back over the fence.
No, you didn't.
I did, though.
And the whole time I didn't know that that's what he had done. So I'm sitting at my computer and we see, from our windows, we see into this parking lot and, they're closed. There shouldn't be anyone there. And I see this person back there behind their dumpster. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Do I need to like keep an eye on this? Do I need to call the cops? Like what is happening? And then I see Justin's little head pop over the fence.
It was funny because I feel like as soon as I popped up my head, I looked straight at you.
Yeah, you did. You're like,
hi. Like, yeah, you had this look on your face like, what the?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I try and be like aware of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Especially in this complex.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of what's going on and who's here.
Yeah, totally. So.
Lest someone whip their wiener out like they did a few weeks ago, which we won't get into.
No. So anyway.
Blows me away, though, that I literally caught one of our neighbors with his wiener out 5 feet away from another neighbor's window in broad daylight, and that person is not getting evicted. There's nothing happening.
There's nothing because they denied it.
Yeah. And apparently that's all you have to do at our apartment complex is just say, no, that didn't happen. And then it doesn't matter that I saw it and that the person who lives in that apartment has seen it happen multiple times. Apparently none of that matters. You can just whip your dick out whenever you feel like it.
Though?
Yeah, they talked to her. They talked to the manager.
That's so crazy.
And they told her, yeah, it happens all the time.
That's so crazy. That's so gross.
I know. I agree.
Yeah. So we try to be very aware and very mindful here. Because weird stuff happens.
Not that the complex cares, but
yeah.
We care.
Yeah, we care. And I think as far as like...
street justice. Should have punched him in the dick. I'm going to do that next time.
Gross.
He was too far away.
Don't do that.
In my defense.
Don't do that.
I did not have I don't have go-go gadget arms. There's no way I would have reached him.
I just think that when you're in like any housing community, apartments, like your street, whatever, it's good to be aware and just keep an eye out for each other because
absolutely
you can't necessarily depend on the systems to do it, basically.
I know we can't.
Yeah, so I think it's really good to just always be aware and just, be mindful and be cautious for each other. So, which is why when I thought I saw someone behind the dumpster doing who knows what,
right,
I was like, okay, I'm going to subtly pay attention to this.
Yeah.
Because
you weren't very subtle, just so you know.
Okay.
When I popped my little head up, I saw I
was like,
We had little owl eyes looking straight at me like...
All right, I'll be more subtle in the future.
Subtle, I think
well, I think it's because earlier yesterday, so it's an office building, and there were these guys back there going to every door at it. And I think they thought it was open because normally it is open Saturdays.
Yeah.
And I think they were checking if it was unlocked. And I was watching them from my desk, but applesauce was sitting in front of me. So if they looked up, they would have just seen applesauce in the window. They wouldn't have seen me at all. But anyway.
Tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky Tashi.
Yep. I'm that neighbor who, I guess, keeps an eye on things.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah.
I mean, being home all the time, it's kind of hard not to. You notice every little thing.
Yeah.
And especially because I think when people are around or when they are home, they're so used to the world not being there that they tend to be louder or just, not as careful or quiet as you might be if you had expected that people would be around.
Yeah.
So being that we are around, I think it's easy to notice things and easy to notice what's going on because it's an otherwise pretty quiet world.
Yeah, totally. And we know people kind of have their regular schedules for things.
Totally. Yeah.
So you notice if something's different.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like all of our neighbors are very consistent in their schedules and when they take their dogs out and things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a working class neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or complex at least. And thus Yeah, everybody's on a pretty consistent schedule.
Yeah.
Their dogs, their kids, their
Totally.
work. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what else? What else is on your mind?
I don't know. I have this cat hair in my eyelashes.
Oh, no. Did you get it?
No. That was... Actually, I think I did.
You want to tell us about your nails? Got some pretty intense nails going on.
My nails? I did my nails. I thought it would make me feel better.
Did it?
It did. Yeah. With all the hand washing, they're definitely getting beat up really fast. But yeah, so I did them. I used Artisan from Sienna Byron Bay.
That's the color, Artisan?
Yeah, that's the color. And then I used the...
How would you describe that color?
Like mustard / baby poop is how I would describe it, I think.
Yeah.
I really like it. Every time I wear it, so many people ask about it because I feel like it's such a specific color that I don't think I've ever seen another brand do.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about Sienna Byron Bay. They're like a tiny company in Australia, and their polishes are very, very clean, which, you know, I just go by cruelty-free and vegan. If it's clean and it works, that's just a bonus. But I really, really like their polishes, and they've sent me a ton of them because they know I wear them all the time. And what I really like is they have a lot of very unique shades, but they also release collections where it's like for different seasons, they'll do 5 shades. And they're always very well coordinated. So you could do like a gradient manicure with them, and it looks so cute together.
Yeah,
I feel like they spend extra time on like the curation of their collections.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really, really like them, and their polishes hold up really well.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I read every single comment that's on the Logical Harmony YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There are too many to keep up with on Instagram.
Yeah. It's really challenging.
It's very challenging. So I don't read them all. But yeah, it's pretty rare that people ask about your nail polish, and then in the last couple months that you've been wearing this shade, and some other shades from them, what?
Champagne Mommy from Deco Miami is the other one.
Yeah. You've been wearing those two more frequently the last couple months, and it's crazy because I guess it's just so fascinating to see a different kind of comment.
Yeah.
And it's always fascinating to see a comment that's not related to what you're talking about. Like if someone were like, oh, your top is really cute. Where'd you get it? Like those comments always stand out because normally the comments are about whatever you're talking about. So yeah, it's been interesting from my perspective to see, oh, wow, people really like these nail polish shades. They're constantly asking about them.
Yeah,
It's
constantly. Yeah, and I think too, so both those brands are very small companies. Deco Miami is one person, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Okay,
at least.
But they're both brands are definitely under 10 people,
Small,
and I think even under 5 people. So it's exciting to me that people are asking because I'm like, oh, it's like this tiny brand, and both of them are totally vegan. So yeah, Champagne Mommy I wear a lot because actually it dries incredibly fast.
Yeah.
So if I forget to do my nails before we film or my nails are chipped, I actually just put that on over it, and it dries in like 2 minutes. Like it dries super fast. So that's why you see me wear it in a lot of videos too.
Interesting. And it is a great color.
It is. It's beautiful. And I've gone through like multiple bottles. It's one of my like all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And what's cool about Deco Miami too, one thing I really appreciate is they kind of have the concept of like, when's the last time you actually used up a bottle of nail polish? For most of us, that's not often. Yeah. So you can get regular size bottles, but they also make mini bottles. And it's a really good way, I think, to like reduce waste.
And the mini bottles are what they started with, right?
Yeah, they started with the mini bottles, and then they added the bigger bottles, which are this really cute round shape. They're very wide, and they're like not as tall. They are very like artsy, and they look beautiful on the shelf. All their packaging's beautiful. But the mini bottles are great too because they are pretty affordable. You can try different colors. You can it's fun for different shades that maybe are things you don't see yourself wearing all the time. I really like both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really like both of them?
I wear
People
those
really like both of them.
a lot. I wear NCLA.
Yeah.
For like the long nails, I use the Madame Glam Builder Gel.
Yeah.
I struggle with gel polish itself. I feel like it peels very quickly on me, faster than like regular nail polish. And I don't know why. Like even if I prep my nails very well, like Builder Gel, no problem. That can be on for like a couple weeks. No issues. I can do fills on myself, no issues. But gel polish itself doesn't seem to work that well for me. Anyway.
Interesting. Well, I was thinking, speaking of hands and hand care, that I might do my video about dry skin and eczema today.
Yeah, I think that'd be rad.
Filming. I'm not sure because I really am hating this facial hair. My decision to not shave until this whole, our self-imposed isolation is over. I'm really regretting it. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like anything about it. So anyway, that's just to say I'm not sure if I'm ready to shave it though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I said I would do it as long as possible, and I feel like maybe I should just keep pushing. But then I'm also like, well, do I really want to shoot a whole video looking like this and then look back in like a day when I'm editing it and be like, oh God, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I think you'll be not pleased, but maybe you can give context. Well, because every time you have filmed a video and you have any bit of stubble, you end up refilming it because you're like, I don't like how it looks. I don't like you don't like it so much. You end up reshooting it. So I'm saying, I think that is what will happen because that is historically what has happened.
You're saying it looks so bad that I'll be upset about it later.
No, I'm saying that when you're editing it, you'll be like, I don't like this because that's what you do every time. But I think too, if you explain it and give it context, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
It is up to you. I filmed that hand care video yesterday, but I don't have eczema. The day before, but I don't have eczema, so my suggestions might be different than yours.
Yeah, well, and this is also going to be not just for hand care, but like for the whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your little dry skin.
Yeah. It's weird though. Like I've always liked, like when I lived in California, where it's way more moist than it is here in Utah, I liked having dry skin because I think, the environment helped to keep, like my body was like, okay, we're going to be dry. And then the environment's like, okay, well, we're going to be moist. And then together it was like this perfect combination.
A symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Just like ours. And now out here, it's like just everything's dry.
Yeah.
I feel like I've aged like 5 years as far as like face and wrinkles and stuff. Which, like, I'm not opposed to aging. I'm not opposed to wrinkles and everything. But it is a little bit of a shock to go from, like, you feel like you're aging at this pace. And then in 1 year, your face looks 5 years older and your skin feels 5 years worse. And you're like, what the heck is going on around here?
Yeah. We need to get you some better skincare routines going on, too. To adapt to this environment. Because that's the thing. I don't think you have changed yours, really.
No, not at all. I've been asking you to shoot a video where you show me how to skincare. And you haven't taken me up on it yet. So I'm just sitting over here with dry old, wrinkly old, desert face skin.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that soon. Not today, but tomorrow.
Yeah, right. We have this... like we bought some beer a while ago, and we kept the empty box, and we use it as like a garbage can over here because we've been filming, and we've been like blowing our noses or whatever, and so instead of having to like get up and go to the kitchen and throw it away, we've been putting our tissues in this box.
It's so gross.
Yeah, but what's really gross is that we keep throwing our tissues into the box but I think we've never made it in the box.
Oh, I've made it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So at the end of recording these, I have to get up and pick up all my gross used tissues.
Ew. And then you wash your hands very thoroughly.
Yep. Of course.
Yep.
I've been washing my hands a ton lately.
Me too. My hands are so dry.
Which is funny because we're not going anywhere.
No, we're not leaving, but I feel like I'm just more concerned about it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably better to be in the habit than not.
Yeah, totally.
In these uncertain times.
But even just certain things like, I mean, yesterday we got a package delivered, and after I touched stuff, I washed my hands. Like stuff we should be doing anyway, but I think a lot of us didn't necessarily as much.
Yeah, we've been doing little things too, like what Tashina said. We'll get a package delivered, and we'll open the package like in the doorway, basically.
Yeah.
And then like dump out the contents, and then leave the package there to be taken out to, outside, and then and then we wash our hands.
Yeah, and then
which is probably overkill, but I think it's probably better to be overkill right now.
Actually, they're saying they don't know if it can live on like cardboard and stuff. Like they're recommending to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've been following Amanda, Organic Bunny, and so she's been sharing a lot of tips of being like very cautious. And same with like Molly, Fashion Veggie, because Molly has 2 little kids at home. Like she is basically a newborn baby. And so I've been learning a lot from both of them about like how to handle packages and things like that show up, and stuff that some of the stuff that they do is not accessible for us or not possible for us.
Like they have incinerators and they just throw all the packaging into their incinerator.
Well, like Molly got this thing. So when she got this thing a couple months ago, when things first started to get weird in China and she was nervous about stuff coming here, that's when she started kind of prepping for it because she just had a kid in like December.
Right.
So she got this thing. I forget what it's called. She was talking about it on her Instagram stories yesterday, where I think it's like an O2 machine. So she puts everything in her car trunk and runs it in her car trunk, and it like basically will suffocate stuff that's on it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I don't remember the details, and they're, when she bought it, they were like a lot more affordable than they are now on Amazon. The price is like doubled.
Yeah.
But then Amanda has been sharing tips like open the package outside and leave the box outside, or if you're able to, leave the package somewhere that you won't be for a couple of days, or like leave it out in the sun for a couple of days, things like that, so that it'll give a chance for any possible contamination to not be there. Because they're saying it can live on surfaces for like a few days.
Yeah, I thought it was up to like 8 days.
I don't know, but that's on like non-porous surfaces, I think, whereas cardboard is porous. So I don't know. I don't know the details.
Well, it should live longer on a porous surface.
I don't know. I mean, that's the debate right now.
Is that a debate though? I feel like it's fact that porous surfaces, things, especially like organic matter, lives longer on a...
I mean, I guess what I mean by that's the debate is they don't know. That's what I'm seeing is they're not sure, and they're trying to figure out stuff like that right now.
Yeah, there must be more to it, because I think that part of it is well established.
Yeah.
And accepted. Like even just when I worked in the tattoo shop, like to get certain like certifications and stuff, or like even like if you're building a restaurant, like you can't have surfaces that can't be cleaned or like disinfected, and part of that is like porous surfaces, like you couldn't. Anyway, fascinating.
So we're just trying to be extra cautious
in certain rooms. I just want to clarify, we're talking about like if you have a tattoo or piercing shop, let's just say piercing, and then you have your like bio room, and you're going to be Association of Professional Piercer like certified or whatever the term is now. I mean, it's been years since I've done this, so I'm sure it's changed a little bit. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. Sorry, go on.
Oh, just that like I think being extra cautious is a good thing, and I think following Amanda and Molly and seeing what they're posting, what they're talking about it's been very eye-opening as to stuff that I'm not seeing in the media about like just little ways we can take extra precautions to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being super aware. We've been washing our hands a lot more because you should be.
Are there any recipes or anything you're excited to try while we're not leaving the house? Oh, also, let me just say, one thing I really want while we're not leaving the house, because, obviously, we haven't, other than me running to the UPS store, we really haven't left the house in a couple days. But we are going to go on like walks and stuff and get out and, go do things where we know we won't be anywhere near other people.
Yeah, which we should do today because it's supposed to start raining this week.
Okay, I agree. We should. I really want a hammock.
I know you do.
I've wanted a hammock for so long, and there's this park not far from where we live, and there are a bunch of trees, and some of them are like, I know they're perfect for hammocks because I've seen people set up hammocks there, and I really want a hammock because I think it'd be so fun to go to the park and set it up and just lay there for a little bit, maybe read a book.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think it'd be fantastic, and they're like $20, which is totally reasonable, except that I don't want to spend $20 on anything.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we just bring a blanket.
I'm starting to think that I'm going to break down and buy a hammock, though.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that a dumb thing to put on a credit card? A hammock?
I think let's wait and see what happens with the weather, because it also says it's supposed to snow this week.
Yeah,
so
good call.
It's still winter here,
Yeah, but
even
it's so warm, it's not going to stick. And then we'll really want a hammock because we can't go to the park and lay on our blanket because the ground's going to be wet.
Well, let's think about it.
Oh, I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
I've done thought about it.
All right.
I have so many thoughts about a hammock.
I can tell. Anyway, you were going to share a recipe you were excited to make.
Oh, are there any recipes you're excited to make?
I don't know. I'm excited to try new things. I made French onion soup last night, which I'd never even had before, or much less made. It was okay. I wasn't super blown away with the recipe. No.
I mean, if we're being honest, I really appreciate that you made it. And I really appreciate that you had the thoughtfulness and foresight to be like, oh, I'm going to make this thing I've never made, and we can try this new dish, and it's going to be fun. And
it's super simple ingredients.
Right. So in every aspect of it, I appreciate it. I appreciate that you did it. It was very thoughtful. As far as the taste goes,
yeah,
I was not a fan.
The recipe was weird. I feel like if I had put in mushrooms, it would have been a good gravy base.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a strange recipe. So I don't know.
I think too, maybe because I'm just like, I don't know why, but I felt very sensitive to its aesthetic. And it did not look good. It looked... I'm not going to describe
normally it's served with like a piece of like cheesy toast on the top.
To hide its appearance, I would imagine.
Yeah, so usually you're supposed to take the soup and put it in like a ramekin and then put a piece of bread and some cheese on the top and broil that. But we don't have anything I could broil in for soup.
Yeah.
So that's why I did cheesy toast on the side.
That makes sense. I'm not surprised that they would want to hide that because I can't imagine. Like, as I was eating it, I'm like, how are people going into restaurants and ordering this and then choosing to eat it? Like, none of this adds up.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I made artichoke dip the other day and that was really good. So
True.
I think I want to make more of that.
Yeah, do it.
And we have like fresh peppers I think I would use because I think we're out of green chilies now.
Are we? Oh, right, because I used them to make stuffed green chilies.
Yeah. So I'll use the fresh ones.
Sorry.
It's okay.
My bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
That can seemed so huge.
Yeah.
And
it
then
was
I went
big.
through it in like one day.
Yeah. I mean, green chilies are so good though.
They really are.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find, like maybe I'll make chili. Like I'm trying to come up with things that can be made from very simple recipes, like very simple ingredients we already have on hand. But I also want to make sure we have some variety.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been trying to find new recipes and things like that. What about you?
Well, I have my sweet berry wine going.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which I haven't smelled or tasted or done anything with, so it's possible that it's gone bad. Although, after the first wine that I made accidentally was sitting out for like 2 months and I just forgot about it. Like, literally forgot that it existed. Mm-hmm. And then it was fine. I'm not too concerned.
Okay.
I'm more concerned that from day one when I was tasting it, I didn't really like the flavor.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I want to get some kombucha going again since I have my mother sitting there just sitting in its own juices.
It's ready.
Just waiting to be fed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would like to get a sourdough starter going again.
Mm-hmm.
Although I thought that I had bought a new container to do it in.
You did.
Where?
It's up in It's in one of the cupboards. We put it up there because you weren't using it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was trying to figure out because I found the first one I bought that was too small.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could have sworn, but
it's by the rice cooker. Oh. It's in there because it's tall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That would be helpful because it'll free up some more pantry space.
Yeah.
Oh.
Applesauce is being so cute.
Yeah, that'd be rad to start that again.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
For sure. We have some cabbage. We could do some sauerkraut.
We do?
Yeah. It's like a half a cabbage or something. We could just do a small batch.
I don't think I would do. I mean, feel free if you want to start doing it. But for me, it's not that sauerkraut's super labor intensive, but it's labor intensive enough.
You want like a big batch?
Well, yeah, because once it ferments and like kind of shrinks down, even like 2 cabbages isn't that much sauerkraut.
Yeah, that's very true.
So a half a cabbage I wouldn't spend time on it.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
But
then I'll use it for like dumplings or something.
Okay.
Yep.
Use it for dumplings or something, would you?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. What else are some things that you want to accomplish or get started or do while we're doing this? Because like we talked about last night, recording this has been a great benefit in regard to like starting a habit and getting out of bed and being productive. So is there anything else you want to add to this? Because I'm thinking for me, I want to sort of build off of it, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How about you?
I think I'd like to add workouts. Mm-hmm. I think that would be really good right now.
Yeah, samesies.
I also want to really clean the apartment and get it in a really good place and keep it that way. Because I think right now we're spending so much time inside. It's very easy for it to not be clean.
Yeah.
And I think it would also be very easy for it to stay clean. So I think we should like get it to a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not necessarily getting messier.
No, it's not.
It's kind of just staying the same.
Yeah. So I think if we get it to a good point, it'd be very easy to keep it that way. Especially because too, with the shelter in place, we're using more rooms. Like, I mean, not that our apartment's huge, it's 2 bedrooms, but I feel like I'm spending more time in the living room and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. We kind of are using more rooms. It's so weird to me that like we work from home all the time, and yet somehow it feels like this has had an impact on us.
Yeah, I think it's because since it's been raining too, we're not going out as much. Like, it's not that we went out a bunch before, but we had the freedom of like, oh, I want to make this for dinner. We're missing one ingredient. I'm going to run to the store.
True. Okay, that was weird.
I offended her. Or we were going and picking up packages, which you didn't do yesterday. I want to note that for people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do that. I was going to, initially I was going to ride my bike, and then I was just so tired that I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I was going to take a Lyft or an Uber. A Lyft.
Yeah.
But I decided not to. Well, but not for any No,
but you didn't go. And so there's still a chance you could ride your bike.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at versus being in a car share service,
which
I'm still nervous about. And
by the way, nervous because, well, first of all, we don't have any like health insurance. And second of all, because when Tashina gets sick. And it basically shuts down our ability to work. Yeah. Which I know a lot of people are dealing with. But that's why, that's the nervousness. Yes?
It's just exposure. Like exposure from other people, us potentially exposing people. Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that what happens if you get exposed? Isn't that? Yeah. Well, you're looking at me like, you're giving me this look like I'm saying something that you don't agree with. And if that's the case, then let me know. What is it?
No, it's not that I don't agree with it.
What is it? There's clearly something. Just say it.
It's just that, I don't know. I don't think it needed clarification. That's all. I think everyone knows why stuff like that would make me anxious right now. I think everyone's feeling it.
I think there are a lot of people out there who are thinking, I'm young and healthy, so I don't need to be worried about this. And I think it's important to clarify that, first of all, if you are young and healthy,
you should still be nervous.
Yeah, you can still get sick, and that can still cause a huge problem. And second of all, like you said, you shouldn't be out just spreading it willy-nilly if you don't have to be.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially with like what Dan Mace was talking about, that was like...
I don't know what Dan Mace was talking about.
So Dan Mace is a content creator, and he lives in LA currently, but he went home to South Africa and like a week ago. And he just tested positive for COVID-19. Mm-hmm. And people were like, oh my gosh, like, have you had symptoms? What's going on? And he said that like 6 weeks ago, he had symptoms and went to the doctor and got diagnosed with the flu and had started to feel better and then started to get symptoms again. And when he was, traveling to South Africa, and I don't think he would have traveled if he was feeling sick. And then tested there and tested positive for it. And so now he doesn't know, did he have the flu 6 weeks ago? And then because his immune system was compromised, then he picked up, this and it turned into it. Or is that what it was from the get-go? So now he's reaching out to everyone he has talked to or been in contact with in some way in the past 6 weeks to let them know he tested positive. But it kind of like, that made me really anxious. I mean, he's a young guy. He's a healthy guy. But aside from that, the fact that like he has potentially had this for 6 weeks without knowing. Yeah. Like that's really scary. Mm-hmm. And so when you think about in 6 weeks, the amount of people you could potentially come in contact with, even though he was doing social distancing, like he was being very responsible the whole time. I want to say that. It's not like he was like, yeah, I'm going to go party. Like, no. But yeah, that's kind of made me more anxious about stuff like ride shares and things, which I was already feeling very anxious about. But I think it just shows that like you could be a healthy young person and it will still impact you. And then again, really highlighting that you could just be a carrier for it. Mm-hmm. Like he didn't come in contact with anyone that he knew had tested positive for it, which part of that is that here in the States, so many people are not being tested for it, even when they have symptoms. Not by their fault necessarily. I think it's the healthcare system and the government. Like I know people who've requested tests that are being told no because they haven't been out of the country. But I think it just highlights like how we all need to do our part because you just don't know.
Okay.
Long tangent, long ramble, but just I feel like it adds to your point of what you were just saying. Anyway.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. We're trying not to talk about this stuff on here, though. So I'm sorry for doing that, guys. I'm sorry. We want it to be a nice, peaceful place. Less stress, less anxiety, and I'm not doing a good job of that. So I'm sorry. I want to acknowledge that.
But now you have to figure out the next thing we talk about.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing we talk about. What are you excited to do today?
Why don't you go first?
So we're going to be filming today, so I'm excited for that. I think it'll be good. And then I'm excited to just tidy up. I think that's basically it. Like, I'm excited to clean up stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to get a lot filmed and edited. So that we just have a big backlog of stuff.
Yeah.
So that we can go back to focusing on other things.
Yeah, I can queue up a bunch of blog posts, things like that.
Yeah.
Rework Instagram stuff, get some new Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I'm excited to continue reading the comments on the video that we posted this morning.
Oh, I haven't seen any of them.
There's one. It's about a oh wait, hold on. Yeah, there's one. It's fun. It's fun. And I think that everybody, or so many people, being on lockdown or stay in place or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Especially in California and New York, which are the two major demographics of Logical Harmony, and kind of by default, the two major demographics of everything that we do, right? Because everything kind of stems from that.
Yeah, like so many brands are there and stuff. Is that what you mean?
No, what I mean is that whenever we start a new project, our audience tends to trickle down from Logical Harmony. Mm-hmm. So, like the vlog channel, I think the majority of people who are here heard about it through Logical Harmony, and thus are representative of that demographic. So, because so many of them are at home, I feel more, and just in general, I feel like there's more people to talk to. Like even though so many people are isolated, it feels more social.
Yeah.
For me, like, you can call a friend in the middle of the day and they'll be home, or you can post something in the middle of the day and people are commenting on it because they're not at work.
Yeah.
Or they're not, maybe they're working, but they're not. Yeah. They're working from home. It's a different scenario.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Good.
Yeah. I like it.
Good.
And I think I'm going to call my grandpa today, which I'm excited about too.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Although honestly, pretty nervous about it, but
why?
I'm not going to get into it.
Okay. Sorry. I
okay.
retract my question. Retracted. Officially retracted.
Okay, so should we get to work?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you have a good day.